We are now on chapter 5, where we will define and understand the meaning and differences between first signing a contract with the manager to benefit from the added fan boost percentage, as we have talked about in the previous chapters, and also renewing the manager contracts. For reference purposes, we are going to read the definition of signing and renewing the manager contracts as defined by Massimo on its website, which is accessible on the link listed above. As per Massimo, the contract term for the manager is 22 hours. After the manager is activated, you can benefit from the fan bonus he will give according to his level for 22 hours. The 22-hour period is also a contract renewal period with the manager. If you do not renew the contract with the manager within this period, the manager will leave. What we just read is very important, and a lot of gamers are confused by this definition. We are now going to dissect each element of this sentence, starting with the contract term for the manager is 22 hours. As you can see from the screenshot, when you first contract the manager for a certain period, whether it has been done through an instant upgrade, having paid in manager cash, or having called back the manager after he left, the manager is available to you for an initial 22-hour period. During these 22 hours, you do in fact benefit from the equivalent fan boost as per the level chosen. Whilst on this period, the bottom of the screen will be highlighted in gray with a notification that tells you how much time is remaining before the renewal period comes into action. This leads us to the second sentence of the definition provided by Massimo, being the 22-hour period is also a contract renewal period with the manager. Once the initial 22-hour contract period is over, you will then be in the renewing contract period for another 22 hours. As you can see from the screenshot provided, the bottom of the screen will be highlighted in yellow with a notification that tells you how much time is remaining before the manager leaves. During this renewal period, you do in fact benefit from the equivalent fan boost as per the level chosen. You also have the option to renew the manager contract at any given time, but choosing to renew the contract closest to the end of it is the best way to go about it time-wise, especially if you use the manager on a continuous basis. Once this period lapses, the manager will leave, and you will no longer benefit from the fan boost as per the level chosen. To recapitulate, whenever you sign a contract with the manager at any given level, whether it was paid for through an instant upgrade, having paid in manager cash, having called back the manager, you are given 44 hours in total to benefit from the manager, 22 hours being the contract period and 22 hours being the renewal period. It is important that you time your renewal to re-sign the manager. This should be done within 1 to 4 hours before the manager leaves. Massimo is very smart in having the contract and renewal periods being in 22-hour segments instead of 24 hours. Had it been 24 hours, you would naturally remember the time for which the manager would leave. Being 22 hours works against you, as every time you sign a new contract with the manager, the next renewal would happen 2 hours backwards, meaning that the timing constantly changes. The only method to stay on top of that is to set an alarm in your phone or on your watch, as from the time the first manager is contracted. This is what I do. Failing to renew the manager contract will lead him to leaving, and when this happens, it costs an extraordinary amount of diamonds to bring him back. The higher the level of manager, the higher the amount of diamonds are needed to call him back if he leaves. This will be elaborated in chapter 7. Lastly, before moving on to the next chapter, it is important to note that no manager cash is required to be paid when the manager has been contracted through an instant upgrade or through a callback after having left. This is an area that has confused many Headball 2 players.